Welcome to the Shortwave Radio channel, and we're going to do a tuning around with the Eton Executive Satellite SSB, and we're going to tune around 2000 to 3000 kilohertz and actually explain what is there to listen to in that range. So 2000 to 3000 kilohertz, I'll put myself in upper sideband to make sure that I hear what's in there. The bottom part, there are some marine stations on the very low part of 2 megahertz, especially from Alaska and from British Columbia on the west coast. Here on the east coast, they're a little further up on the frequency range. 2000 to 3000 kilohertz contains the 120 meter band of broadcasts. Not a lot happening. I know there's a station in Australia still using it, and there could be some low power stations that are still using it, but it's one of those ranges where it's difficult to hear anything. There's some, of course, local Coast Guard marine weather station here in Canada that are on the higher frequencies. And in Europe, a lot of stations that have marine broadcasts are on the 2 to 3000 kilohertz range. Tune around, you will hear some interesting stuff in there. And of course, there's WWV time signal on 2500 kilohertz. So tune in upper sideband, because pretty much everything will be in upper sideband except the time signal. So let's tune around, and on the Eton Executive Satellite receiver on the MLA30 loop. Of course, soft mute, as you see. 2182 is still used as the international safety and distress calling frequency. So you never know what can happen with marine broadcasts in here. If a boat is in distress, something's happening. It's being used less, but it's still used. I've seen a few posts that in the last year, a couple of ships in Europe particularly were using 2182 for their distress calls. $2,300 to $2,490-ish is the 120 meters broadcast band. It's mostly a tropical band, but like I said, not much happening. There's an Australian there, and there could be a couple of low power stations depending where you live, but it's a pretty quiet band today. $2,500 kilohertz, which is WWV. It's a little early here to hear WWV right now, but later around 0500, usually I hear it there. It's there, but it's very weak right now. Once again, remember, as you go up in 2500 to 3000, lots of marine broadcasts, and especially in Europe, many stations using that range. Here in Canada, we do have a lot of stations using it. Here we have a range. Let's fine tune. Here we go. Remember that the fine tuning has several steps. When you press the tuning knob, you have the stop, which means it's not going to change, it's going to lock. So this is good if you accidentally bump the radio and don't want to change the frequency. You've got fast that changes in 5 kHz steps. You have slow, which is 1 kHz steps. And then we have fine tune, which lets you put the proper voice level when you're in single sideband and you need to fine tune the frequency for the correct tone for the voice. So 2598, Canadian Marine Weather.
Winds becoming south 35 to 45, Wednesday morning, veering to southwest.
So this is some Stanag. I believe it comes from possibly Halifax or Gander, Canada. Here's the French equivalent of the weather broadcast, possibly from Nova Scotia, but don't be fooled, there's several stations. You can be listening 2598, 2749. In Canada has stations from Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, from Rivière-au-Renard in Quebec, and so there are several stations that are actually switching. Some of them in French, some of them bilingual, French-English, and some of them English only.
Samedi, vent du nord-est 4 lumière du nord-ouest à 2 faces. Les avertissements de navigation remplacent les avions à navigation.
And here at the top part, 2900 to 3000, you might hear aeronautical communications. There are some aircraft aeronautical comms there. And this was the tuning and the info of what's in 2000 to 3000 kilohertz, and tuning around with the Eton Executive Satellite SSB portable receiver Grundig edition. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.